So we'll stay on the West Coast here as Oregon, man. They continue to do pretty much, it seems like, what they want in the transfer portal as they've picked up momentum to pick up Makhi Hughes from Tulane. And, man, you talk about Tulane. John Summerall, head coach, decides to come back. And how do his top guys reward him? He loses his quarterback, Darian Mensah, to Duke. And now Makhi Hughes, he's been in the portal for a bit now, but it looks like he's trending towards Oregon here. Very interesting thing to note. Naeem offered, for the 5-star recruit who signed with Oregon this signing day a few weeks back, is his younger brother, and he actually flipped from Ohio State to Oregon on signing day. So the connection is obvious there. This thing probably has been in motion for some time now. But you talk about Hughes, and right now he's the number 3 ranked player in the transfer portal. This is not official yet, but it looks like it's trending in that direction. And productive, versatile running backs are always something that are going to be a hot commodity in the portal.
Yeah, Makhi Hughes, 5'11", 210, number 3 overall player in the portal. You look at his numbers the last 2 years: 2,779 yards, 22 touchdowns, 5.3 yards per carry. He sat out his first year due to injury, was not a big recruit, 85th ranked running back coming out of Alabama, but didn't have any offers from Auburn, Alabama, none of those schools, no SEC schools. But when you watch him, again, sat out the first year to injury, then 2 years in a row, over 1,000 yards. He is very much a pure running back. He's not a guy that's going to win a track meet. He's not huge, but his vision is absolutely outstanding. His patience. He is somebody that has contact balance. He can make guys miss in the hole. He can make guys miss at the second level. He always square to the end zone. When you talk about your traditional tailback, that is what he is. He's not like a Jahmyr Gibbs that you're going to move around a million places and try to get the ball in his hands as a dynamic player. And he's not like Garrett Blunt. This is a guy who is going to get a lot of carries. Tulane was a very run-heavy offense. You saw some I formation, just sort of old-school offense with Tulane, and this was the workhorse. I think you look at Oregon, they had a good running game this year. Not like a dominant running game, but a very solid one, 27th in the country with 4.9 yards a carry. I'm sure they'd love to crank that number up closer to that 5.5, 5.6 range, maybe in 6.2 range, closer to like a Notre Dame or Miami. Mm-hmm. Not that Oregon has a ton of needs, but there's always room to improve. And you had Jordan James this year, 1,000+ yard runner, potentially going on to the NFL. You're going to replace him with another 1,000-yard runner and potentially elevate that game, that running game even more, because Oregon they're going for it, man. This is not going to be a cheap player. This is a player that if you get him, obviously there's the brother connection, but I doubt there's going to be much of a hometown discount. So you get this guy, he's going to be an expensive dude. And I think he'd be worth it for what they need, because he's a proven guy, and you put him behind that offensive line, and he's going to be just churning up yards.
Yeah, and Oregon, it's going to be kind of a reshaped offensive line, but they've picked up a couple guys there already. So it's going to be a bit different. We understand it's going to be a new quarterback as well, but they've got a lot of talent there, and we understand that Dan Lanning and his staff has done a really good job developing a lot of those guys. And when you watch them, they look like a well-coached football team.
And look, Bucky Irving, you've seen what he's done in the pros. So this is becoming now, I won't say like a running back factory like Alabama and Georgia were, in recent years. But if you're a productive, maybe not, again, physically supreme back, but someone who knows how to run and can make guys miss and can make plays, this offense will be for you. Dan Lanning, he's a defensive guy at heart, so he loves to run if he can. Of course, he's at Dylan Gabriel, so he's been airing it out. But and Bo Nix, right? So he's had quarterbacks that they're going to pass a lot, but at his heart, he wants to control the game with the running game. We'll see how these playoffs turn out and where Oregon turns to when they really, really need to win some of these tough games, starting with Ohio State tomorrow. But this is a player that I think fits like a glove. Of course, his brother's there, who we're going to talk about as one of the top performers in the Under Armour game here coming up. But listen, man, Oregon, when it's going good, it's going good. And it's going great for Oregon, and this is just another bit of good news. Not official yet. Again, this is just where it's trending, but all signs point. When you look at NIL budget, they have the biggest. Their brother's there. The fit's there. It just makes a lot of sense that Hughes winds up at the University of Oregon.